June 3rd, 1892. Dear Martha, I'm in terrible trouble. Yesterday, after I picked the blackberries, I helped Cousin Verna wash the stacks and stacks of dirty dishes that lay all around the kitchen. Then I mashed the berries with sugar, strained the juice, and made a blackberry cobbler for supper. After we ate, I helped Sissy do the dishes. When the others went to their rooms, I lit a candle stub so I could write a letter to you. When I finished writing, the house was dark and silent. Everyone was asleep. I thought about the boy in the woods for the 100th time. Why would he make up a story like that if it wasn't true? But why would Cousin Verna and Cousin Daniel lie to me? I don't know what made me do it, but I crept around to Cousin Verna's window. She and Cousin Daniel, or Jimbo, or whoever he is, were talking softly. I listened. She said, "She keeps it around her neck. She won't take it off." He said, "Then let's all go to the swimming hole tomorrow. She'll have to take it off then. I'll get it while she's swimming with the kids." Fear washed over me. I reached for the pouch around my neck. She said, "Her parents probably died of the fever. They won't miss the land. This is our big chance." He said, "What will we do with the girl?" She said, "They have orphanages for kids with no parents, don't they?" He said, "But she'll tell them that her parents are alive." She said, "Who are they going to believe, her or us? They won't believe a kid. Besides, she's had the fever herself. We'll say she's not in her right mind after losing her folks and being so sick." He said, "Verna, you are a genius. This will be as easy as falling off a log." She said, "One more thing. Take that mangy dog off and get rid of him permanently. Do it first thing in the morning before the girl gets up. I don't want him hanging around here eating my food or killing my chickens." I ran back to the porch. My heart was pounding. I was shaking from head to toe. I tried to calm down. I knew I had to get away. I looked at the sky. The stars were bright. I found the Big Dipper and the North Star. I thought if the slaves could do it, so can I. I bundled my things up in the bandana and felt for the pouch around my neck, just to remind myself that it was safe. Ethelbert and I set out into the night as quiet as two mice. I found a road and headed back towards Micanopy, just barely able to see the way. We walked and walked. I was tired, but we couldn't stop. My heart was heavy with fear when I thought about what I'd heard at the window. Why would folks want to steal something my pop had worked so hard for? What made me feel worse was that there was no one I could go to. The Greens would be at the beach in Sarasota, and I didn't know how to get in touch with them. Who else would believe the word of a kid over two adults? The only thing I could do was run away. We finally came to the edge of town. I wanted to wait until daylight so I could leave a message for Pop and Mama at the post office in case they were there for directions like I had. I looked for a place for us to sleep. There was a wagon parked under an oak tree. It was filled with fresh ginned cotton. I helped Ethel over the side and then climbed in. In 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, the two of us were fast asleep. Love, Teddy. June 4th, 1892. Dear Martha, early this morning a voice woke me up. It said, "I told you those people weren't any good." It was the boy from the woods, I said. "Would you quit scaring the daylights out of me?" I felt sore. From head to toe, my head ached, and I was hungry. Now this kid was pestering me. He said, "Well, who are you? You never did tell me your name." I said, "And I'm not going to. I don't even know who you really are. How do I know I can trust you? You might be working with those people to trick me." I thought of that house of those kids, of those voices in the night, filled me with dread. He said, "I told you, I'm Daniel Bodain." I glared at him. "I'm looking for Daniel Bodain, the grown man." He said, "And I told you, my pop died last November, just after Thanksgiving. He got pneumonia and that was it." I felt frustrated, I said. "I don't believe you." That made Daniel mad. He said, "All right, don't believe me then. I don't care two hoots and a holler if you believe me or not." I said, "You don't have any idea what I've been through." He said, "You? You don't have any idea who I am or what I've been through? You don't know what it's like? You have a family. What have I got? Nothing." His eyes snapped anger as he spoke. He stared off down the road, picking a fat stick with lay in his path. I watched him leave, wondering. He looked so familiar. Who did he look like? Had I met him before? Where had I seen his face? I remembered Mama showing me something once. She kept it in a tiny velvet box. It was a picture of Pop as a boy. That was it. The same eyes, the same chin. The boy looked like Pop. My heart almost skipped a beat. I called, "Daniel!" He said, "What?" and turned to look at me. My voice was soft when I asked, "Are you sure you're not related to that woman?" He said, "My mama died when I was little. Pop married Verna last year, a few months before he died. She came with these three Philistines. They're not related to me, thank goodness. I don't have any family, period. At least none that I know of." I said, "I think you do." He said, "Do what?" I said, "Have a family." He looked curious. "How so?" I said, "My name is Teddy Bodain. You do have a family. You and I are cousins. Love, Teddy." June 5th, 1892. Dear Martha, Daniel looked absolutely astonished. He said, "You think we're cousins?" I said, "I know we're cousins. If your dad was Daniel Bodain, he was my pop's cousin. That makes you and me cousins." He said, "I've got a cousin, and it's you?" I said, "Well, I'm not that bad." He said, "Where is your pop?" I said, "That's what I'm trying to figure out." I told him the quick version of who we are, where we came from, and what we are doing in Florida. "So I've got family?" He smiled for the first time. I smiled back. The sun was getting brighter. People were out and about. I pictured Jimbo and Verna discovering I was gone. I said, "Daniel, I've got to get out of here. Those people are going to be looking for me," he said. "What's your plan?" I tore out a sheet of paper and wrote a quick note. "Dear Mama and Pop, your cousin Daniel Bodain is dead. The people who live in his house are bad. They are liars. They want to steal your land deed. I'll try to keep you safe until you find me. Miss Melman is going to school in St. Augustine, the Sheridan School for Girls. She'll know where I am. Love, Teddy. P.S. Ethelbert is with me. So is my cousin, Daniel Bodain. He's 11 years old." I went to the post office. Daniel waited outside with Ethelbert. The same woman who had helped me before was just opening the door. I said, "May I buy an envelope, please, and a stamp?" I paid with the 2 pennies the woman had tipped me for delivering her loaves of bread. Now I was totally broke, but I had to mail the letter. I sealed my letter in the envelope and put the stamp on the outside. I addressed the letter to Dalton and Grace Bodain. "General delivery, McNappy, Florida." I said to the woman, "My parents, Dalton and Grace Bodain, might come looking for me. If they do, would you please give them this letter?" She said, "I'll make a note of it." I went back outside and told Daniel, "I've got to get out of town. Jimbo wants Pop's land deed." We walked around the corner from the post office. The streets were busy with people. Suddenly, Daniel pulled me into the dry goods store. He said, "Look, across the street." I looked out the window. It was Jimbo. He asked a woman something. She shook her head. He looked straight over at the window and I could swear he saw us. We ducked down. I peeked down the road at the wagon where Ethel and I had slept. A man was loading more cotton. Daniel and I snuck out the back door of the dry goods store, behind the oak tree and behind the wagon. The man loading the wagon was big and muscular. It reminded me of Lucas Lincoln. He said, "Are you the kids who slept in my wagon?" I said, "We need to get out of town. A bad man is looking for us. Would you help us?" The man looked back toward the busy street. Jimbo was headed our way. The man frowned and nodded. He said, "Get in the wagon on the far side. Cover yourself with cotton as best as you can." Daniel and I scrunched Ethel down between the two of us. As the wagon rolled through the town, the driver sang a sad song. When the great big river meets the little river, follow the drinking gourd. Love, Teddy.